Welcome back to another Pokemon What If Wednesday, where every Wednesday morning I post a video going through last week's investing and collecting questions, where your guys' questions will actually be featured in the video, and one person's question will help me make the thumbnail every single week. So please drop your question down below for a chance to be in next week's video. And if I did comment to you saying great question, I might use this and I didn't, please drop that same question again and make sure you put repeat question and it will get moved to the top. And I'm not saying I'm some guru who just knows everything, but when I'm unsure, I always like to talk it out with a few people. It always helps me make my final decision. But before we get started, we do have to give thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is Platinum Protectors. If you guys are in the market for any type of case, for any type of collectible, Platinum Protectors has got you covered. They have cases for action figures, comic books, diecast, Funko Pops, movie box, trading cards, and video games. Really good selection too, all different price points. You can get the bulk cases where you get like 20 of them for $40, or you can get the really nice thick cases with the magnetic top. But they got cases for Lorcana, One Piece, English Pokemon, Japanese. You can always go up here and hit the new items tab, and they're always dropping new products. They just dropped a new case for the Japanese Pokemon high class sets, which I absolutely love. The one with the magnetic top, super nice. And then too, don't forget to use PokeBeard at checkout for a discount. All right, let's get started. So first question is from a member at MichaelReady6281. Hello, I've got a handful of the Pokemon Center Stamp promo cards sealed. I've got Charmander, Pikachu, Snorlax ×2, plus I've got the Pikachu one graded in a 9×3. Should I keep holding or just bite the bullet and sell and invest in some booster boxes? Thanks and always, and have a good new year. A solid little collection like that. So let's take a little peek at some prices here. So the Charmander, that's a lightly played chart, but last sold 4 of them at 125, 128, 110, 115, 135, 125 for the Charmander raw. Check out what the Charmander is selling for in a PSA 10. Last sold $965. And then before that, $950, $990, $950, $945, $950. That is honestly insane. Let's keep going. Let's check the Snorlax here. Here's the Snorlax raw. Last sold $125. Damage for $40. Near mint $120, $160, $120, $115. And then here is the Snorlax in a PSA 10. Last sold $485, $490, $550, $376 from the UK. Next, we have the Pikachu promo. And this last sold 72, 88, 73, 74, 100. That was for raw. And then in the 9, since you have 3 of them, it sold for $99. Someone snagged one for $45, and it does have the Pokemon Center stamp. That's a very, very good steal right there. Another one at 65, 72, 87. So pretty close to just raw prices. So since you do have some doubles, if you wanted to, you could maybe sell one of those. You got 3 Pikachus. You could maybe sell one of the Pikachus. But to be honest, you're not getting a ton of value yet, especially for those 9s. And then for the ones that you do have sealed, definitely think about getting them graded. I mean, you've already gotten a few 9s, but maybe you bought those separately. Because, I mean, you've seen the prices of this Charmander and the Snorlax is just going crazy. So definitely get those graded if they do look nice. But I honestly feel like these are going to keep rising. If it were me, I'd probably hold on to all of them. Like I said, maybe sell one of the doubles if you really need to and you're kind of tight on cash and you want to get a booster box or something. That's not a terrible idea, but honestly, I would just probably hold them all. These Pokemon Center Stamp promos are just going crazy, at least until they completely level out. Almost none of them are really leveling out. All of them are still slowly climbing. So I'd probably just hold a little bit longer. All right, next question is from @TravisBlackshear8771. Hey Beard, love the channel. I just got 2 Pokemon Center Magneton promo PSA 10s, only because I love the artwork that Shinji Kanda does, like with the Giratina and the IR Magikarp from Paldea. My question is, do you think the PC Magneton will continually climb because of the unique artwork? Thanks and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Let's check out some prices. Magneton in a 10, last sold on eBay, $250, $220, $225, $195, $195. Honestly, I could see it going up a little bit more. So I would definitely hold, like I said at the last question. But I honestly feel like a lot of these promos are just going to keep slowly climbing. This card was pretty expensive because it was just so hyped up right away. But I doubt we're going to get a Surging Sparks Pokemon Center ETB restock. So these cards should definitely keep climbing. I love the artwork also. Super nice card. Next is from @BoyoBoyo414. Do you think the gold cards are undervalued as far as the Pokemons go, not the trainer cards? So we will take a little peek here. The Snorlax is the most expensive gold card in the Sword and Shield era, besides Crown Zenith. We're not going to talk about Crown Zenith because we know those gold cards are absolutely goated. But the Snorlax card is pretty solid. It's actually going up in price right now. It was $60 in October. Last sold $65, $69, $74, $90, $77, $68. You just got to think though. I mean, look at the card. You know, it's a very beautiful card, but there's really no art in the background or anything. That's why so many people prefer alternate arts, you know, and special illustration rare over these gold cards and rainbow cards. So I don't think the gold cards will ever like beat the illustration rares or, you know, alternate arts. But I do have a feeling some of these gold cards are going to have a nice little bounce back, just like the Snorlax here. And the Mewtwo is the second most expensive gold card in the Sword and Shield era. This card is also going up. Was $11 and now last sold $19, $30, $30, $35. But the one thing going for these cards is they are very hard to pull. And then the third most expensive is the shiny Houndoom here. You know, very solid. I love when they actually did the shiny with the gold cards. But this card is like a $15 card. Also going up in price right now too. Last sold $14, $17, $18, $13. So you can still find this card for a very good deal. And then if we're talking the Scarlet and Violet era here, you know, the Pikachu market price $130, but that's still the newest English set. I can see that card coming down still. Charizard market price $25, Terapagos $21, Alone Executor $20. But I'm honestly not the biggest fan of these gold EXs like this with the crowns. I much prefer like the gold cards from Paldean Fates, or even like Gouging Fire and Raging Bolt from Temporal Forces. All right, next question is from @FRins. I pulled the Holy Grail of Silver Tempest to Lugia via Alt Arts. My brother and I made a trade where he took my Lugia for 2 Legendary Warrior Collection boxes. Walmart just had a deal where they were 40 each, but market is 100. Now market is 70. What's your opinion? So we'll take a little peek. Now, at least you're getting a good amount of packs, 14 packs, you know, not too bad. Not the best promos, of course. So honestly, he is probably winning right now. You know, Lugia is going wild. It's like 220 something. And then with the possibility of grading too, he could get that card graded. So if he gets that card graded and that hits a 10, I don't know if you will ever be able to catch up to him with these 2 boxes. But let's say if it doesn't get a 10, you know, you could probably surpass him value-wise. But again, not the best promos, no Evolving Skies. So I think he did get the upper hand right now, but like I said, you know, you got to wait. It's a long game for Sealed for sure. And then there's a good chance Lugia keeps going crazy. You know, people love that Lugia card. I normally do like trading cards for Sealed, but again, it's one of the most popular cards in the Sword and Shield era, and this box isn't super, super popular. I wish I had a little bit better promos. You know, I wish I would have got the promos from the Crown Zenith boxes. That would have looked so much better. Next question is from @MillsG2D. How do you feel about Shrouded Fable? I have some Sealed and love some of the artwork. I know the hit rates are terrible and everyone seems to not want it. Is it time to invest in some more Sealed and hold, or leave it alone like the rest of the community? Still love the content and thanks for all you do. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Merry Christmas. So we'll take a little peek. So Shrouded Fable, it really reminds me of Battle Styles from the Sword and Shield era, to be honest. So it will definitely go up. I just can't see it going super, super crazy. If you did want to invest in anything, you know, maybe a Pokemon Center ETB case, you know, that will do pretty solid. Or if you can get like the Greninja box or the Kingdra box, you know, for MSRP, that's also very, very solid. But I don't think it's going to go super crazy, and I would honestly probably put more money into Prismatic Evolutions when that comes out. You know, we got a lot of good sets coming that I would definitely rather spend my money on than Shrouded Fable for sure. But like I said, if you do really love the set, order yourself 4 Pokemon Center ETBs, get yourself a nice sealed case. You really can't go wrong with Pokemon Center ETBs. Next is from @JPBoathead884. What do you think of Aerodactyl V Alt Art from Lost Origin and PSA 10? I'm debating snagging one because I already have the Giratina, and I'm debating getting both because they are iconic. I love the Aerodactyl. I think it's one of the best alternate arts in the entire era. And honestly, at $290, that's not too bad. I mean, the card is $100 raw, so for a PSA 10, that's somewhat affordable. So if you are a Gen 1 fan, you probably love Aerodactyl, but I feel like there's a lot of new people that do not care about Aerodactyl. But in my opinion, this has the best background where it is like an actual scene. It's top tier. I don't think there is a better card in the entire Sword and Shield era, or possibly in all of Pokemon, that has a better background than Aerodactyl. So I could definitely see this card being like a $400 PSA 10, maybe even like a $500 PSA 10. But again, I love Aerodactyl, so might be a little biased there. But at $290 or $300, that's not a terrible price for this card. Next is from @BaltoTCG. I had 3 Prismatic ETBs, bought them each for $65, and I was wondering if you think they will keep going up, or if I should take some gains and sell one of them. I want to invest in other sets when they come out. We'll take a little peek. So last sold on TCG Player, 128, 128, 128. So you got them for $65. So after shipping and fees and all that, you'd make 45, 50 bucks maybe. Now you got to think, is that enough profit for you? Because you have one of the most popular ETBs right now, one of the most popular sets coming out. So you're sitting pretty. And you only got 3. You know, if it was a Pokemon Center ETB and they're selling for $350, $400, then I'd say maybe yeah, because then you're actually getting a decent amount of value to where you could get, you know, a good amount of stuff. But you're just going to sell 1 ETB to get 2 ETBs, and you might not even be able to get those 2 ETBs for, you know, MSRP or anything for the next couple sets. They could go crazy also. So I think you're sitting decent. You know, $65 is pretty good. You know, if you absolutely need the money, just wait like a few days before pre-release. The prices should go up even a little bit more because people are just going to be FOMOing so hard. But yeah, I think you're sitting very, very solid. Next is from @GirthBrooks871. Hey Beard, Merry Christmas. What's the most expensive card and sealed product you've sold and also still own? That would be the PSA 10 first edition Neo Genesis Lugia Holo. Sold that for $80K. And I also have one more still that is chilling in the safe. I think it's worth like 45 or 50 now, but yeah, that is definitely the most expensive one. Actually got them both. Well, I got the one Lugia for $60 on auction on eBay, and then I got the other Lugia in a lot for like 250 with some other vintage cards. Probably like, I want to say 15 years ago maybe, and then they both graded a 10. Next is from @KRN Caucasian. Hey buddy, question, got into Pokemon again. Got lucky and pulled the Demigod pack and the Good God pack from Terrestrial Festival. Should I get the cards graded in sequential order or just regular? Planning on saving for years and then sell. Good idea, or leave them raw? Happy holidays. Definitely grade, and definitely try to get them in sequential order. There's definitely a premium for that. All right, next question is from @their Trospective guy. Question, do you really think a PSA 9 versus a PSA 10 is really a difference for a personal collection standpoint? I know that the slightest thing can make a 10 to a 9. Honestly, from a distance, there isn't really that much there. Just wanted to throw this question out to you. So like, I have legit OCD, so 9s really bug me for modern, because you got to think these are brand new cards, you know, fresh out of the pack into the sleeve and then graded. They shouldn't really be getting 9s. So that's why I don't like 9s. You know, if you're going to do modern, I would definitely stick with 10s. For vintage, it's a completely different story because the cards are, you know, almost 30 years old or 25 years old. So in my mind, a PSA 9 is equivalent to a raw card for modern, and that's how most people honestly think. You just got to think it's brand new, you know, we want that card to be mint. So I get why people really only collect 10s for modern, and I am also one of them too. Next question is from @Michael Ray. Hey Beard, love the content, straight to the point, relaxing, and from a fellow beard man. We also got to appreciate the beard. I started collecting Pokemon recently again, and since I stopped in the early 2000s, I am looking at card binders, but there are a lot of options in the market. What are the best brands for card binders? I'm from England, and I have seen Vault X, Zipper 9 pocket, and 12 pocket binders online, which look great. The Pokemon set binders at $34 for 9 pocket binder and $41 for 12 pocket. I want to make sure I spend my money wisely. So Vault X is definitely king right now when it comes to binders. You will not be disappointed with any Vault X product. I do think the Pokemon Company binders are a little overpriced and not the nicest. And then you could also support like some small businesses like Rock Sandy. He's a fellow Pokemon YouTuber. He started a binder. It's called Card Prison. It holds raw cards and top loader cards. Not sure if he ships to England, but you could support some small businesses like that too. There are a lot of great binders out there. All right, next question is from @NotLuluCore. What are good resources to know the value of cards that aren't in English/Japanese? Miscut cards is also something that I have a hard time finding anything on. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. And honestly, there really is not a very good spot. Your best option is probably eBay sold listings. Next is from @MyHoyMinoy96. Hey Beard, love watching your videos as I'm an old fan but a new investor and collector. My question is this: I have always opened ETB factory cases and separated them, but still plan to sell as 3 to 4 pack depending on if I keep one for personal collection. If I don't absolutely plan to sell as a full case, it shouldn't matter if I break the tape on the box, right? Thanks and keep up the awesome work. So if you don't plan on selling them as a full case and only really want to sell like 3 of them most of the time, that is totally fine to crack that case open. Next is from @Broden116. Hey Beard, Merry Christmas. Love the content. What do you think will be the percentage price drop on most singles for 151 on or after February 7th when Blooming Waters is available? So I don't think they're going to drop very much at all. Like, no joke, just like at most 5% or something like that. But I just think Blooming Waters is going to be gone as soon as it comes out by all the box breakers and the scalpers. So I don't think it will really affect the raw cards too much. Next is from @Pokemon ETC6969. What is the best card show to go in the States? So Obviously, Collecticons are great. They have a good variety of everything, and you can see like real celebrities and stuff. But honestly, the most fun I've had is Card Party. I mean, you are literally walking around and almost everything is pure Pokemon. You know, like Collecticon, there's a lot of other things going on, so it's not just pure Pokemon. Card Party is pretty much pure Pokemon. You know, if you're really big into Pokemon YouTube, they're all walking around. You know, I'm going to be at all the next ones. I'm going to be a featured creator, and you can always hit me up on Instagram or YouTube, and I can come meet you, and we're going to be doing meet and greets and stuff. So we're talking just Pokemon, definitely Card Party, but everything else, Collecticon. Next is from @Evan Vanzu Marin 2671. Repeat question for the Bearded Master. So I commented on a previous video on how I can get a 151 ETB for 110 Canadian. As of now, that equals out to about 77 US. On TCG, they go for about 120 US, which is about 171 Canadian. So is this discrepancy just because of the conversion and how crappy the Canadian dollar is? I've noted this only really happens with sealed boxes. For singles, our prices are usually equal out to the same amount. So I'm not 100% sure on that, but honestly, that's a pretty solid price. You know, I'd probably pick up a few. But yeah, it's just so crazy how the prices are different like that. You know, I wish I could give you a better answer, but that is not a bad price for a 151 ETB. Next is from James Scholar 93. Hey Beard, love the content. It really helped me focus on my sealed collection plus sealed investing. One question I have, would it be a good trade to trade an English OP05 Awakening of the Era ODA Sig Monkey D Luffy for Evolving Skies booster box and an Evolving Skies PC ETB if I can make it happen? So I honestly do not know anything about One Piece, but I do know Evolving Skies is basically the cream of the crop when it comes to Pokemon. And I do know Pokemon is bigger than One Piece. Even though One Piece I know is legit and has been around a long time. You know, not the cards, but the actual anime. So if it were me, I would definitely trade that. I'm not sure what you're trading, to be honest. But an Evolving Skies booster box with an Evolving Skies Pokemon Center ETB is probably the two best products that we're going to have in the entire modern era. So I would do it. Next is from @Skizmark. I'm trying to get into seal collecting and I'm sitting on a couple of Twilight Masquerade booster boxes. What are your thoughts on the set? Is it worthy to invest more in? Twilight Masquerade booster box is very solid. It's one of the least printed sets that we got so far. It also has a Greninja, which is just going crazy. So I think you are very fine sitting on a few Twilight Masquerade booster boxes. And you could get a couple more if you wanted. It is a little expensive right now, 150, 160. So if it were me, I'd probably pick up a couple Paldea Evolved, a couple Paradox Rift, you know, some stuff like that. Maybe even some Scarlet Violet base set. You know, if you can find Surging Sparks for a good deal, maybe some of that. And then too, you got to remember, we got a Prismatic Evolutions coming out. So if you can find any sealed products of that for MSRP or in store, definitely start grabbing that. But yeah, you are doing very fine. You know, a lot of people, they start off with a bunch of regular ETBs that they paid $50 for at Walmart. At least you started off with some nice booster boxes. But all right, next is from @Kasha0211. Do you think TBC will reprint the Prismatic Evolutions Pokemon Center ETB? I do think there's a small chance that it will get restocked when the set releases, but it will seriously last 5 minutes. Next is from @Garden State Snooze. Question for Santa. If you guys didn't know, I was dressed up as Santa last What If Wednesday, so if you guys want to go check that out. But the question is, I just picked up a minty Evolving Skies booster box for $9.60. I bought it for collection purposes, not really an investment, but do you think we will see this box continue to rise? Merry Christmas and thank you. Merry Christmas. So it's weird. I'm in a lot of different hobbies, and it's really only in the Pokemon hobby where people like separate collecting and investing. Because in my opinion, if you are spending your hard-earned money on a collectible, you are investing. You know, you're buying something that holds a certain amount of value with the possibility that it could gain value or lose value. You know, we're not sure. With most sealed Pokemon products, they gain value after time. But yeah, if you are collecting and spending money, in my opinion, you are also investing. And I do think Evolving Skies has a lot of room to grow. Even at $960, especially if you got a nice minty one, I think you are sitting fine. And I could see this box being a couple grand in honestly a couple years. So big fan of Evolving Skies. It's the cream of the crop. Next is from @TheChef93. Do we think Glory of Team Rocket will pre-order at or above MSRP? I didn't think we'd see this much hype, but after Prismatic, I don't know what to expect. I have a feeling it's going to be worse than Prismatic. I think a lot of people learned their lessons where they sold their pre-orders too early for too cheap and they had to end up canceling them because they wanted more money. I don't think many people are going to do that again. They're just going to jack up the prices right off the bat. So definitely try pre-ordering from GameStop, Target, all that stuff when you see it, Pokemon Center. You know, and of course, GameStop has canceled some orders, But from what I've seen, it's only the people that ordered a ton. I've heard a few people say here and there that they got their, smaller orders canceled for Prismatic Evolutions, but for the most part, I haven't really heard of anybody just getting a few boxes canceled. So definitely pre-order from all your big box stores, GameStop, Target, and all that. And I've heard GameStop canceling a few orders, but from the most part, I've seen it's just people that ordered a ton. I've only heard a few stories here and there where they canceled just like a couple people's pre-orders for just like a couple ETBs or whatever. So definitely pre-order as much as you can for MSRP when you see it. And just got to keep that in mind. It might get canceled. So, just keep that in the back of your head. But, from the Pokemon Center and stuff like that, that usually never gets canceled. And then two, you have a decent chance of finding it in store, especially Target is cracking down right now on scalping. So you might have a decent chance of getting an ETB here and there. Like my local card store that I go to in Minnesota, Punch Out, they sell everything for MSRP on release day, and they always do, and they always will. Be a massive line. So, you got to ask your local card stores and stuff too. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, drop them down below. And then if you guys like this content, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. And then if you guys want to know when Prismatic Evolutions comes into stock or anything like that, follow me on my Instagram, or you can join my YouTube membership. It's only 99 cents a month. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And then if you want to watch my last Pokemon Market Monday, click this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.